Close the eyes and sit in a very nice, comfortable position. Any asana that is natural, comfortable, relaxing. Become aware of the spine, nice tall spine, vertical spine, keeping the head, neck, trunk nicely aligned. The intention is to maintain this alignment vertical, but that should be not at the expense of any discomfort or pain. So you want to make adjustments, make sure you're very naturally relaxed. Allow the hands rest very comfortably on the knees or thighs. The shoulders up toward the ears, roll them back. Let them hang loose. Just do this movement a couple of times just to loosen up these shoulders. Gentle. Relax. Few gentle neck movements. And just feel the muscles in the neck area. Up and down movement, side to side. Create small circles or big circles or any random movement. Anything that will help you feel the muscles and loosen up any tightness in the area. Finally, you'll bring the head back to the center. Chin slightly below the horizontal level. Soften the facial muscles, back the jaws. And begin to watch your breath now as you breathe in and out. Observe the flow at the tip of the nose, monitoring the flow without making any effort to control or modify the breath. Feeling that subtle cooling sensation with every inhalation. That's in the nostril, you feel that subtle cooling. Exhale, warmth of the air, subtle sensations. Recite Om 3 times, deep inhalation. Om. Softly open the eyes. Namaste everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Day number 20. Journey into self-exploration. Self-exploration. Exploring our pure true self. Understand self-exploration to gain what? Self-realization eventually, right? Have you understand the term self-realization? Have you heard the term? What does that mean to you? Self-realization. Anybody?
Going within. Going within and realizing the true self.
True nature, true essence of who we are, right? Self-realization. What is it though? Self. So, I'm going to give you a very kind of a simplistic approach to look at this whole thing. Simplistic, not very deeply philosophical or anything. Simplistic approach, right? So if I, let's say, if I pick this up and I say, this is my pair of glasses, right? So when I say this is my pair of glasses, there are two entities involved. One is the owner and one is the owned. There's an owner who claims to own this pair of glasses. That roughly okay? There's an owner and there's an owned. There's a possessor and there's a possessed, in a sense, right? If I say this is my shirt, that means there is an owner who claims that that owner owns this shirt. All I'm trying to tell you is there are two different entities we're talking about. The owner cannot be the owned. Is that true? Right? The owner cannot be the owned. Right? No? If I say this is my shirt, that means the one who's claiming to be the owner is different from this shirt. That's why I can say this is my shirt. Stay with this line of thinking. It's in my hand. I'm clapping my hands. When I say my hands, there's an owner of these hands, of this entity called the hands, and there's a separate owner. They cannot be the same. It's my computer. This computer is different from me. I cannot be the same as my computer. Stay with this line of thought. My hands. I cannot be my hands. My mind is dull. My mind. My means possessor, right? You apply the word my to something that you possess. It's my computer. I possess this computer. It's my mind. So I possess this mind. That means I am the owner of something called the mind. But I'm the owner. So that owner cannot be different, cannot be the same as the mind. Cannot be. That's why there are two different entities. My brain is fried. You say that, my brain is fried. So I am the owner, I am the owner of this brain, which is different from the owner. Who's the owner? I. That's what I'm saying. It's my brain. I have a brain which is fried. I own the brain. That means I am separate. I'm different from this brain. They cannot be the same thing. That's why I can say I own it. If I own this house, two separate entities. So why are we identifying with the mind? If I'm not the mind, why am I identifying with the mind? If I'm not my thoughts, why am I identifying with my thoughts? Food for thought. Think about it. Simplistic and yet very deep. And once you understand this concept that owner and the owner owned cannot be the same, possessor and the possessed cannot be the same, you realize something very, very beautiful. Right? Why am I identifying with my thoughts? Why am I saying this is right? Because I know it's right. That's my thought. That's my feeling. That's my belief. But why am I identifying with it? Why is it bothering me then? If I'm not the same thing, hey, it's okay. I'm not it. Think about it. Food for thought. All right. Do the eye exercise. Circular rotation of the eyes. Very frequently we do this. Keep the head in the center, spine up, look up, full circle, clockwise, large circle. Smooth movement, head staying very steady. No head movement, just the eyes, creating a large circle. Stretching the eyes so we can exercise the eye muscles. And bring the eyes to the top, center the eyes, close, relax for a brief moment. The eyes look up counterclockwise. Full circle without moving the head. Smooth movement, stretching the eyes to create a large circle. We'll exercise the muscles there so we can maintain good, healthy eyes, healthy muscles in the eyes. Okay, next time you bring the eyes to the top, center them and close. And let's rub the palms. Softly cover the eyes with the palms, relaxing the eyes. Gently rub the eyelids, eyebrows. A little massage around the eyes. Again, just softening the muscles in these areas, cheeks, and the throat. Release softly on the eyes. All right. Get ready? Arjarasana. Now put your hands on your knees. Come up with the hands vertically under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale, head up, tailbone up. Keep the navel down, look up. As you exhale, round the spine. Lower the chin down. Push the navel up, create a little hump in the spine. And a few more rounds of this movement. Smooth, steady movement of the spine with the breath. Loosening up. Finish the next round, finish the exhalation. Final exhalation, then make the spine back to the neutral tabletop position momentarily. And then we'll sit up in Vajrasana for Kapalabhati. Okay. Screen. Kapalabhati. Okay, let's go. Final sequence. Exhale forcefully and completely, and then apply the 3 bandhas. 3 locks. Chin lock, navel lock, root lock, Jalandhar, Udyan, Moolabandha. Holding your breath. Deepti, when you get kind of tired or you feel that you're not getting the rhythm, stop at that point. Don't struggle. Don't force yourself. You're struggling at the end.
Yeah.
Maintain that rhythm. There's no reason to stop. It's okay. All right. So what I want to do today is to talk about how to establish ongoing practice. That's the whole goal, right? To maintain practice. So what I'm going to do is to share this article that I wrote on my blog. Okay. Let me just share that screen first. Second. All right. Okay, so this article, I wrote it some time ago. Home practice options, bare bones to a full practice. Okay. Now, all depends on how much time. And I'm talking about this options after you've done the 42 days. Okay. There's no option before that, in my opinion. Okay, so for the next 21 days, there's no option. You have to do the same thing. Practice it exactly. But after the 42 days, depending on how much time you have, how much time you can allocate, I have given you my recommendations. They're simply my recommendations. Don't think that they are guidelines or specific guidelines. No, simple recommendations. See what you can do. All right. So I'm starting out with very bare, very bare minimum. Some days you have a meeting coming up and you have no time. You only have 20 minutes for practice. What do? So that's what I have written here. My recommendation is what you should do or you can try within those 20 minutes. Okay. So there's some asana practice, some pranayama, 30 minutes, again, some asanas, pranayama, even a brief meditation. Then 45 minutes. So there's basic, minimal, 45 minutes is minimal, and highly recommended is 1 hour. So with there 25 minutes of asana, then there's brief yoga nidra, pranayama, and meditation. That's 1 hour. Okay, 15 minutes. Ideal, full 90-minute session. That's exactly how we do it here. In the class, we don't do meditation, but then you have to allocate, so you adjust what you do in the asana practice, pranayama, etc., so that you should not skip meditation. That's the key guideline. I'm sure you have seen that. Meditation should be a key part of this. Okay. So when you do full 90 minutes, 40 minutes of asana practice, yoga nidra, pranayama, and 20 minutes of meditation. All right. So go through this article and see, whatever you want to pull out of this as your own guideline. But once you start practicing, you will know, what is it that works best for you, and then you can modify things, add more practice, more asanas, more variations, and whatever you want to try after that. A lot of things will depend on how you practice evolves. That's how my practice has evolved. I've done so many variations, so many things. I started out with the same practice, asana, pranayama, and meditation, same sequence, I mean. But then soon I started realizing that after I do my asana and pranayama, every time I have something more important that comes up than my meditation. So I would skip meditation. That doesn't work. I say, I'm not supposed to miss meditation, but then something happened in the mind. Oh, that's more important for me. I have to go somewhere or have a meeting or something like that. I'll create my own importance, right? More important than meditation. So I said, no, that doesn't work. So I started doing meditation first. Okay. So I do meditation first, then asana, and then pranayama. Then I started skipping pranayama for some reason. I'm telling you my own evolution, how things have happened. So finally I said, no, that doesn't work. So I said, okay, let me do pranayama first. So I do pranayama first, then meditation, then my asana practice. That's my current routine. And I've done it for the last almost 7 or 8 years now. It's working beautifully. I like it. If I miss asana practice a little bit, it's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, so that happens sometimes also. I already committed to my pranayama and meditation. Every now and then I have something else going on. So okay, I miss asana. And it's working beautifully for me. Why am I saying this? Evolution happens. When you start practicing, you don't have to follow what I'm telling you. I'm just giving you my own evolution of practice, right? See what works for you and then stay with it. You don't have to stay with it all forever. Again, modify. Go with the flow. All right?
And what's the best way to do meditation? How do you do meditation part?
That you have to kind of learn how to do meditation. There is guidelines. Basically, like I mentioned, there's dharana practice and there's dhyana, right? Dharana is the initial focus, like the sequence that we went through yesterday, right? Pratyahara, I call it the pratyahara, sense withdrawal meditation. That becomes your dharana practice. That's your initial focus. Once you're done with that sequence, then you go transition into your meditation, mantra meditation. Then you chant your mantra in your mind. That's the basic guideline for meditation. Right? But there are many other, at least a few others that you can try and experiment with it as the form of dharana practice. And when you do my meditation program that I do here, I do 7 or 8 different dharana practices in that program.
Is there a minimum number of times that you should repeat any asana, for example, Surya Namaskar 4 times, Kapalabhati twice?
There is no strict guideline, the general rough guidelines. For example, Surya Namaskara, we do only 3 times. There are many other schools of thought, they'll do at least 6,
Okay.
minimum. There are some other schools of thought, they'll do minimum 12. All right, so it all depends on who you follow and what is your basic philosophy behind doing all this. In my approach, I like to do it slowly, and I like to treat the Surya Namaskar as an asana practice. There are some schools of thought they treat Surya Namaskar as a warm-up practice. They go through it very fast. Okay. So in the time that is spent for 3 rounds, there are people who do 12 rounds. It's very individual then. Again, based on how I have evolved my practice, I decided to treat Surya Namaskar as an asana practice. So I really want to be fully aware of what's going on in every movement, not just boom, 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 boom. But that's okay. If you want to do that, that's fine too. Treat it as a warm-up practice. It's fine.
But if you're in a rush, that becomes more like a,
Hmm?
if you're doing it so fast, that becomes more like an actual workout rather than.
That's what I'm saying. They do it as a workout for warm-up, not as an asana practice. There are many schools of thought that do that. Again, everyone has a different approach. And then again, how long you hold the pose, that also will depend upon the amount of time you have. Like you've seen, we do these different asanas, Bhujangasana and Dhanurasana. We hold it for a certain amount of time. That's my guideline. You can do it longer, shorter. All right. Any other thoughts, questions on the practice itself?
How do you integrate this practice with the rest of your lifestyle? Like,
Hmm?
what does the rest of your lifestyle look like?
What's that?
How do you integrate this with the rest of your lifestyle? Like, are you also doing, walking? Are you,
Whatever you want to do, again, how it's all eventually you will decide how much time you allocate and to this practice. That's all. That's all there is to it. Like I said, once you do these 42 days, you'll have some idea of what it's doing for you, and then you start allocating time for it. Okay? And people do walking, they go to the gym, and then integrate it with this, whatever works for you. My suggestion always is that if you go to a gym, for example, and you want to do the asana practice or the yoga practice, do it before your gym. That loosen up your body and also prepare your mind for what you're going to do. So you go for a long walk, do the yoga practice before go for a long walk. That's my approach.
But you have seen somewhere the walking meditation, I think.
Yeah, people do that, in a sense, it's a very easy thing to do. When you go and walk, you combine your breathing with your steps. Okay, so 3 steps inhale, 3 steps exhale, 3 steps inhale, 4 steps exhale. See what works for you. All right, that's one very beautiful approach to just stay completely aware of what's going on. Okay, that becomes like meditation. All right. If you want to chant mantra, along with that breathing, chant a mantra in your mind while you're walking. That becomes walking meditation in that sense.
I see a lot of people walking wearing headphones and listening to
What's
music. A lot of people wear headphones to listen music and.
Yeah, whatever works for you. Yes, listen to music, whatever.
Now, regarding awareness of breath, exhalation and inhalation, when you are doing asanas, we tend to forget when to exhale or when to.
Well, the very simple guideline is that when you're stretching the abdomen, let's say when you're lifting the arms up and bending backwards, that's always inhale. When you're compressing the abdomen, that's exhale. That's the basic guideline. Okay. And then everything else should kind of match with that.
But you tend to forget.
Yeah, we tend to forget. That's what I'm saying. That we tend to forget.
Well, it will come with practice.
But when you forget it, you will just go with your natural.
Go with your natural breath. That's fine. Okay. Go with your natural breath. All right. Let's stretch the legs out. Today, we do this practice we call Sukshma Yoga. We don't have too much time, but we'll do what we can. Sukshma. Sukshma means subtle. So no asana practice, basically very repetitive movements of the joints, basically, just to loosen up the joints, all right? That's what we do today. You place your hand wherever they're comfortable. Okay, just work on the toes first. So curl the toes like a fist and bring them back. Just the toes, not the ankles yet. Just the toes, make a fist and then pull them back. Subtle Sukshma Yoga. Movements just of the joints. Repetitive movements. Loosen them up. Pause. Now the full ankle on the toes, all the way out, bring them all the way back. This is to engage the ankles now. Pause. And full rotation. Full rotation. Big circle. In every direction. Keep the feet together. Keep the feet together. Rotate them together. No. Just watch. That's
Subhash, can you please stop sharing the screen so that we can see you?
Thank you. Okay, pause. Other direction. Did we do both directions? No.
No.
All right. Pause. Part. Right now we're going to do a nice movement. Forceful. Nice movement here. Sideways. Ankles. And then pause. We'll do a gentle knee rotation. Just moving the knees. Hold the right leg, hold the back of the thigh, just simple rotation at the knee joint. Big circle though. Big circle. Pause, other direction. Sukshma yoga is pretty much all the time repetitive movements. Almost no holding the movement. Pause. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then pause here. Relax. Other leg. Hold the back of the thigh, lift the knee up close to the chest, create big circles. Pull the knee in a little more. Yes, that will give you a bigger room for movement. The direction. Pause. Inhale, exhale. Short breaths. Stretch, full stretch, bring it in, pull it in, and then release. And then relax now. Okay, for a long time, we're going to do this now. Really long time. Keep doing it. Strike the knees hard into the ground. One at a time first. Ishan, one at a time first. Alternate. Up and down. Strike hard. Pause. Together, now together. Real hard. We do a lot of work on the knees, thighs, improving blood circulation in the area, creating a lot of warmth in the body. You feel that heat coming up. All right, here, just relax for a moment. And feel, mentally just visualize what's going on in the body. Feel the sensations, whatever is happening in the body. Might feel some tingling, maybe some discomfort, maybe, I don't know. Whatever is happening in the body. Become aware. Let's place the hands on the knees. We'll do a full rotation at the waist area now. Hips and the waist. So we bend forward all the way. And then I'm going to turn my body to the right, press the left hand against the knee, tilt the body to the right side. I'm also going to tilt my head to the right, all the way. And then go back all the way, tilt the head backwards. When you go to the left, tilt the head to the right, to the left, and then bring the chin to the forehead to the floor. Keep doing this. Full circle. Big circle at the waist, all the way. In every direction, drop the body in every direction, drop the head in every direction. And go back, tilt your head backwards. You're looking at the wall, at the ceiling at that point. Or you can keep the eyes closed, just feel the inner experience of this movement.
Should it be slow, Subhash?
Hmm?
Should it be slow or fast?
Yes, slow. No, not very fast, not at all. Always with awareness. Next time you bring the head to the floor, pause there briefly, and then reverse the direction. You're not going fast here. See, with awareness. Your awareness of the neck, of the body, of the waist area, knees, hips, and thighs. And finally, when you bring the head to the floor, just pause there briefly. And come back up. Relax now.
In India, many people do it when they are possessed with some.
Yes.
Comes naturally to us.
I've seen that myself, yeah. I don't know how they do it. It's pretty amazing, when they do it. It's mind-boggling.
Like, do you need to maintain like you are doing like left side 5 times and then again right side also you need to do 5 times?
Yes.
Like balance it?
Yeah, balance out. Absolutely. Good thought.
Why I'm asking this question because for me left side is more easier compared to right side.
Then you have to
Yeah,
create,
that is the imbalance in your body.
you have to create the balance slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good thought. Yeah. Keep it balanced. All right. So I need one of you. Preeti, you want to come here? No, I cannot move my shoulders. So I need help with the shoulders. All right. So now do some arm and shoulder movements, etc. So we're going to stretch the arm in front first, palms facing each other. Okay. Make a tight fist, open palms. Tight fists, open palms. Tight fists, open palms. And very simply, palms away and bring them in. Working on the palms, wrists. Pause, simply up and down. Pause and release now, relax. Claws now, real tight claws and just rotate the wrist. Nice tight claws. Pause and relax. We'll use the hands now. Place the palms like this. For in my case, I'm placing the right palm in front, and I'm going to use the right palm to pull the fingers inwards, left hand fingers inwards. Push this the heel away and bring the fingers inwards. And the other side. Switch. And release now. Relax. Okay. So next movements now you have to follow now with Preeti. I cannot do those movements. Stretch the arm straight out in front, palm facing up. So Preeti, what you will do is to keep the elbows like this, horizontal, and you fold the elbows both sides together and bring them like this. Okay, both sides together. Both sides together. Okay. I cannot do this movement at all. But keep the elbows horizontal. Don't let the elbows drop. Now pause here with the elbows bent. It doesn't matter. And then spread the arms like this now. Same move. Keep doing this. No. Just up and down like this. Yeah. No. Spread the arms out and then bring them in. Yeah. Keep them like this. Don't bring them in front. Yeah, that's right. Just follow along. Yep. Simple movements, but soon you can start feeling the impact. Next time you bring the fingertips on the shoulders, pause. Keep the elbows exactly where they are. Move the arms up and down now. Yes. And finally, bring the fingertips on the shoulders and release the hands now. Relax for a moment. We'll bring the hands behind the head now, and then hold the opposite elbows. All right, now keep the hands behind the elbows behind the neck. We're just going to pull now, pull the shoulders. With the right hand, pull the left elbow toward the right side with the right hand, all the way. Hands are behind the neck. Keep pulling, keep pulling. And come back to the center. Now the left hand is pulling the elbow to the right, to the left side. Center, one more time, same move. Back to the center, the other side. And back to the center, and release the arms now. Just relax. Now we'll do our neck movements. We've done this before, I think. Same thing. So as you exhale, lower the chin down to the chest. Inhale, lift the head up, chin pointing up to the ceiling, head tilted back. 2 more times. At your own pace, exhale, chin down to the chest all the way. Inhale, head tilted back, chin pointing up to the ceiling. 3 times total. And finally, when you're done with the 3 rounds, bring the head back to the center now. Pause briefly. Next move, inhale, turn the neck to the right, turn it, don't drop it. Pause there briefly, exhale, bring it all the way to the left side. Slow down, deep, little slower. Keep going with awareness, no rushed movement. A little slower, deep, you're going a little faster. Slow down the movement, feel the movement. Full 3 rounds. And finally, bring the head back to the center. Pause briefly. Now we'll do the full dropping of the ear on top of the shoulder. So right ear on top of the right shoulder when you inhale. And when you exhale, the left ear on top of the left shoulder. Go slow. Dropping the ear now. Deeply. Just watch 1 second. Don't try to turn the neck. Just keep the head in the center and then just drop the ear on top of the shoulder. Yes. Don't turn the neck. Do this 3 times. Again, don't lift the shoulder. Vertebral. Keep the shoulders hanging loose. Shoulders will be hanging loose. There's no effort to lift the shoulders up. And finally, bring the head back to the center after the 3 rounds. Pause briefly there. And now we'll do the full engagement of these 3 movements in a circular movements. So if you just want to look one quickly, the whole idea is to lower the chin down and then turn the neck to the right, but then drop the ear also to the right side, tilt the head back, lift the chin up, and then drop the ear to the left side and continue this full circle now. Chin goes down eventually. Full circular kind of movement, but slow. Easy. I mean, it should not be terribly slow, but not rushed at all. You want to be aware of the neck muscles and keep them gently moving. Neck muscles are generally very tender. You don't want to force them. Whenever you're done with the 3 rounds in one direction, pause briefly with the chin to the chest and then reverse the direction. And after the next 3 rounds, we head back to the center. Just relax now. Neck movements, shoulder movements. Right. Let's come to a standing position. All right. Okay. Why did you run away? Okay. Very simple move. We're going to lift the right foot up and curl the toes up, so that the top of the toes are pressing down now. Something we don't do normally, this kind of pressure on the top of the toes. Press the top of the toes down. Other side. Press them down. Get a good feel for that stretch. And come back. Keep the feet just slightly apart, just for comfort. Then we will lift the heels up all the way high. Press the heels down, lift the toes up now. And do this a couple more times. Heels up, all the way. Heels down, toes up. And then pause. And you come up on the toes now. And take a walk on the toes. All the way back. Pause on your heels now. Walk forward on your heels. One more. Toes, walk back. Heels, walk forward. That's now. Walk. Now we're going to do some knee rotations. So just simply, actually, I need to use the bathroom. So Sanjay, you want to come and do some knee movements and hip rotations, etc. You might be able to do it, remember them.
Knees are bad.
Your knees are bad. So let me just show you quickly what we'll do. These knee movements like this, few times, and then the full hip movements like this, few times. Okay, and then these shoulder movements like this. Okay, do this a few times. I just need to use the bathroom. You can go in front, Preeti, so that people online can see what you're doing.
Make it up.
Okay. All right. There's some free form movements, I guess. That's good, good. That's all you want to do. Let's sit down now. We will do what we call facial yoga. Just doing a little bit of the facial muscle exercises, okay? We first put the tongue at the top of the, on the lips, underside of the lips. Tongue, tip of the tongue on here, and we're going to rotate the tip of the tongue inside. Full rotation. Creating a big circle with the tip of the tongue inside. Then you bring the tip to the top again, pause there briefly, and then reverse the direction, other direction now. Big circle with the tip of the tongue, pressing hard against the inside of the mouth. You bring the tip of the tongue to the top, pause there briefly, then relax the tongue. Relax now. Now we're going to open the mouth wide, kind of tense up the jaws, real wide. And close the mouth with the teeth clenched very tight against each other. Clench the teeth tight. Again, open the mouth very wide, really tense up the jaws completely. And again, clench the teeth real tight. And then relax the face, relax the mouth. Relax for a moment. We just call it facial yoga. And now we go to puff the cheeks out. Real tight. And then suck them in, all the way back in. Couple more time, puff the cheeks out. Suck them in. One more. And release now. Relax for a moment. We'll do the same thing with the eyes now. Real wide open. Keep the gaze in front, but look, eyes are wide open now. Keep looking straight ahead. Wide open, as wide as you can go. And then shut the eyes real tight now. Real tight, shutting the eyes. Open, real open. Just keep looking at this, at the center. And shut the eyes tight. Open the eyes wide. Now, when you open the eyes wide, you're going to look up. Keep the eyes wide open. Look to the ceiling. Eyes are wide open. To the floor. Wide open eyes. Center. The left side. No, don't turn the neck. Just the eyes, just the eyes. No head, no neck movement. Just the eyes. Look to the left, far left. Eyes are wide open still. You're not closing the eyes or not softening them. To the right now. Wide open eyes. And back to the center. Close the eyes. Relax now. Almost going to make a prune face with the mouth now. Kind of squeeze everything in. Close the eyes. And relax now. Relax. You see just a few movements which will help you strengthen the and loosen up the facial muscles. Let's call it facial yoga. You might see, some YouTube
would
videos
exercise
and
for-
all that,
You have anything for years?
Hmm?
For years.
Ears, the only thing that people do is to pull the ears, basically. So squeeze the earlobes and then pull them up and down. And that's what, that's a good idea. We can do that. So squeeze the earlobes and pull them down, lift them up, pull them down, lift them up. And then you can release them. I'm not sure I know too much more about the ears. This is what people do this. I know this. Right. Anything else comes to mind, Sanjay? Okay. All right. So this is we call it Sukshma Yoga. Missed a few things, but because of time, I think it's okay. As you can see, this is a very beautiful routine in terms of engaging different joints, different areas in the body. Blood circulation improves. The joints become very, very loose. So automatically your flexibility will improve because now the joints are loose and really, and when the toxins get rid of these joints, you become more flexible, more obviously joints are healthier now. It's a very beautiful practice. Blood circulation improves the entire body. Nice practice. Sukshma yoga. Subtle. All right. Everyone happy? All right, let's sit down. With the eyes closed for our moment of reflection now. Keeping the awareness on the body, breath, and mind. Replay the whole sequence that we just did in terms of all the subtle sukshma movements. As a video replay, always the same. Intention is to understand the dialogue, the constant chatter that mind goes on in the mind, especially with respect to the body. Understanding that the mind is never allowed to be driven by the ego. Yoga mudra now, so bring the hands behind the back, softly holding the right wrist, and then as you exhale, bend forward. Stay there for a moment, keep breathing. And then slow and smooth as you inhale, come back up. And finally release. And ready for Yoga Nidra. Right on the back. And as always, we'll go through our sequence to tighten and tense up the body muscles. Come up into a half boat. This is optional. Remember, give it a try. If it doesn't work, bring them down. Bring the head down, feet down. Give it a try. Legs are straight, toes pointing away, arms straight in front. Spread the fingers wide and tight fingers. Real tight now. And then make a fist, real tight fist with the two hands and rotate the wrists around. One direction, pause, other direction. Like I said, keep the head down, feet down, but just go through these movements. That's important. Pause now, keep the elbows straight. Open the mouth, extend the tongue out, curl it down toward the chin. Open the eyes down. Tense up the facial and the neck muscles. Pull the fists away from you, the fists going in the direction of the feet. Squeeze the buttocks real tight. Thighs, knees, kneecaps, calf muscles tight, ankles. Point the toes away. Let's engage now the whole body and see if we can bring every muscle into a real tight squeeze from toes to head, top to bottom, every muscle squeeze tighter and let go. Let the body find its own naturally comfortable posture. Look, that's this. Spread the feet apart, almost towards the mat, palms facing up. Body naturally comfortable. Go through a scan of the body, mentally scanning the body from toes to head. One muscle, one limb at a time. If you perceive any kind of tightness, tension, or fatigue, that's when you will mentally connect with the body and send a wave of relaxation, helping loosen up the body. Any muscles that are tight will completely loosen up. And then start feeling that subtle heaviness of the limbs on the floor. Feel that subtle heaviness of the feet, legs, knees, thighs, pelvic area, the buttocks. The subtle heaviness of the lower back, middle back, upper back, the entire back. Heavy and very relaxed. Feel the heaviness of the hands, arms, shoulders, head and the neck, the whole body. And become aware of all the points of contact between the body and the floor, and feeling that gentle heaviness of the body. Let the body gently sink into the floor under its own subtle weight. Very deeply relaxed state of the body. Now for us to enjoy the state of the body and mind, we set the intention that while we're relaxing, as thoughts come up, we will simply become aware that there's a thought. Otherwise, pay no attention whatsoever. Ignore the thought, they will come and go away. And that way we can continue to enjoy this beautiful, peaceful, restful states of the body and mind. bring the awareness slowly back to the breathing and begin to breathe slightly deeper breaths. Just becoming aware of the natural rhythm of your breath. Just feel the flow at the tip of the nose for the next 2 or 3 breaths. And then gradually begin to stretch the fingers, curl the toes, stretch the hands, feet, arms, legs. You can stretch the arms back overhead. Get a good stretch. Pull the hands back and away, toes pointing away. And then slowly roll to one side. Moment. And let's come back up to a sitting position. Just start by asking if anybody has any questions about anything that we have done, we have not done. Because from Monday onwards, you'll be doing your own practice and you want to make sure there are no serious doubts or anything that you might have.
How to not fall asleep in Yoga Nidra.
What's that?
How to not fall asleep in Yoga Nidra.
When you are
In Yoga Nidra.
Yoga Nidra, it's an intention, you know. We again said it's called sankalpa. I should have mentioned that word in the past, but I mentioned that, you know, Yoga Nidra is different from biological sleep. So we just have to set the intention, make a sankalpa in the beginning, that we will try to avoid biological sleep. That's all you can do. After that, if it happens, it happens. Perfectly fine. If you fall asleep, no problem. All it's saying is that your body needs sleep, biological sleep. That's okay.
But sometimes it's very disturbing too.
Hmm?
Sometimes it's very disturbing.
In what way?
Though you're trying to rest, but you cannot. I mean, like
Again, the word that you use is trying. The whole idea of Yoga Nidra is to try nothing. You're not trying to rest. You're not trying to do anything. You're not trying to do anything whatsoever. Not mentally, not physically. You see, the difference between Yoga Nidra and meditation is that in meditation, you're trying to initially stay focused. And then also there is an intention to recite the mantra in your mind. There is something going on when you're meditating. When you are in Yoga Nidra, you're doing nothing. You're telling your mind to do nothing. You're telling your body to do nothing. If the mind does something, let it go. Fine, perfect. Doesn't matter. The word trying, that's where the problem is. Don't try. Because in Yoga Nidra, it's Nidra. If you try something, then you're making an effort. There's no effort in there. Right. So same thing will happen when you're meditating. You know, when you're meditating, how to avoid falling asleep. It will happen. I don't think there's anybody who has meditated without falling asleep. You know, it will happen. But with practice over time, and again setting that sankalpa, that intention, that way, you know, you'll be able to stay alert, stay more aware of what's going on. But it happens. I've done it several times. You know. I realized when my head goes up and down, you know, I realized, oh my, I was probably falling asleep. You don't know. It happens. It's okay.
How many hours of yoga do you do daily? How many hours do you do daily?
Well, in my case, I mean, so these days, because of this class in the morning, I'm not able to spend a lot of time. So, like I said, I wake up early enough so that I can go through my morning duties, and I still like to do about. I try to spend about 45 minutes in my practice. So out of that, about I would say about 20 minutes for pranayama, about 15 to 20 minutes for meditation, and I have a ritual that I have to do my headstand every day. So I do that for about 1 minute, minute and a half. It's my ritual in the morning. That's when I have the morning class. When I don't have the morning class, then my ritual is about 40 minutes of pranayama, about 25 minutes of meditation, a little over an hour of asana practice. So the total adds up to about 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's in addition to any class that I have to teach. That's it. So that's my usual routine. I call that time my own time. I have nothing else scheduled, no disturbance. I do it leisurely then. I don't rush through anything. Everything very easy. I enjoy basically that the whole idea is to just enjoy that moment. And that's what I've been doing. But it's beautiful. Yeah.
And how do you learn to do the headstand?
Well, I learned it as a child, basically. That's the one asana that I've done all my life. Only one asana that I've done all my life since my early teens. I think when I was 14 or 15, that's when I started. That's because my father used to do it. So I would wake up and I watched my father standing upside down every time. That's the only thing I learned. And I started calling it yoga. Not knowing that yoga is way beyond this, it's just two or three asanas that he was doing. So, but that's basically it. I started doing it very early. It is, if you want to learn it, you can come back and I can guide you how to do it. Basically, you have to start doing it against the wall. Okay, and then develop that stability and strength. See, in my case, I used to do it for a much longer time. These days, because of my neck issues, I have all kinds of issues. My neck is bothering me, my shoulders bothering me, and my hips bothering me now. But because of that accident, when I fell down, when I broke my shoulder, I also hurt my neck very badly. And since then, it's been 6-7 years now. My neck doesn't allow me to stay in headstand for more than a minute, minute and a half now. Previously, I used to do it for 8-10 minutes, no problem. Okay? But now it's very limited. But I don't want to miss it. Somehow it's become a ritual of my lifetime, and I just do it. But if you want to learn it, come back. I'll show you how to do it. All right. Any other thoughts or questions? Anything comes to mind? Everyone okay? Anyone online? Anyone have questions?
Firstly, any tips to make it easy to do it daily? It is coming here for 21 days. It's more of being in this group makes me to do it.
Mindset. You have to, first of all, you have to be convinced that this is something useful. Once that conviction comes, then you have to set that as a priority. If there's no conviction, then you cannot set that mental priority. So setting, everything, we set priorities, right, in life. Some people keep work as a priority, some people kids as a priority, as many of you mentioned here. Kids are my priority. And it's a matter of setting the priority, having that conviction that, look, this is something helpful, useful for me. And then you allocate time for it. And you just put it on your calendar, you have to do it for this amount of time. Then it becomes a habit slowly. There's no magic to it. There's no magic to it.
But I agree, like the group the whole group.
Group
is
energy
very-
works, yes, I agree with that. A lot of people have that feeling that group energy motivates them more.
Yeah, all I have to do is come here, then I'm done.
I
I'm good for
understand.
the day. Right? Like on Monday, I don't know what I do.
So like I always say, if you don't practice at home and keep coming here, basically what you're doing is ensuring the job security of the instructor. That's what I'm telling you. I always like to say that, right? But you have to again think about it, right? Are you doing it for the instructor or are you doing it for yourself? Right? And then you kind of realign your thinking, and if I'm doing it myself, I have to be motivated myself.
I think one idea could be to replay the recording.
Huh?
One idea could be to replay the recording and
Yeah.
do it long.
You replay the recording. But some people, when they do the recording, they say, oh, there's so much discussion going on, and that I don't want to do that. I mean, that's true also. So for that, I have that video that you can buy. There's no discussion, no nothing, that's full straight practice, right? They can do that. And actually, I have on my YouTube, there's a 1 hour video. 1 hour video that you can use. There's no discussion. Right? If you know how to edit these videos, I'll be happy to share these videos and you can edit them on yourself. Edit all the discussion parts out and then practice it.
See, the
Keep it
kids,
clean.
kids do it nowadays.
Hmm?
The kids do it nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
Easy.
Kids know how to edit and all that.
I know.
But anyway, so yeah, there's no magic. You just have to build your own kind of self-discipline slowly over time. Otherwise, just keep coming here. That's fine. Keep coming to my classes. Like I have 4 weekly classes, so at least you can do 4 times a week in my classes. Right? Every week I have 4 classes: Monday,
Mornings or
Tuesday,
evening?
Wednesday, and Saturday. So if not 7 days, at least you do 4 days.
Evenings, right? You have those.
I have 3 evening classes: Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Successive days, those are 3 evening classes. Out of which Monday and Tuesday it's here. The Wednesday class in person is at the temple, Hindu temple. And then Saturday I'm back here again, Saturday morning, 10:15. So you're welcome to do those 4 classes. That way you'll have continuity and then, that same motivation to come and do a group session. The other 3 days, out of those 3 days, if you can do at least once on your own, that'll drive you. Okay. So I strongly recommend you continually practice with these classes. That's something useful. Keep going. All right. Okay, it's almost 7:30 now. Let's do the final pranayama, alternate nostril breathing, just a few minutes. Vishnu Mudra with the right hand, Chin Mudra with the left hand. I'm going to guide you through 2 rounds together. So close the right nostril with the right thumb. Exhale through the left. Inhale left. Hold the breath, close both nostrils. Apply the 2 bandhas, chin lock and the root lock. Release the locks, lift the chin up, exhale from your right side. Inhale through the right. Hold the breath, close both nostrils, lower the chin down, squeeze the perineum, chin lock, root lock. Release the lock, chin up, exhale through the left again. Inhale left. Hold the breath. Don't breathe. Close both sides. Apply the chin lock and the root lock. Release the locks. Exhale through the right side and continue now. Keep going. Same routine. Inhale, hold the breath, apply the two locks, release, exhale to the opposite sides. No holding after exhalation. Keep going. Here's the final exhalation. Take your time. Final exhalation should be from the left nostril. Under the full sequence, then you can gently release the hands, get back to your natural rhythm of breathing. Take your time, no rush. Always finish the full sequence. This is called Nadi Shuddhi. Nadi is the nervous system. That's the subtle nerves in the body. They're not the physical nerves, they say. They talk about these nadis which carry pranic energy, pranic vibrations, pranic vitality. There are 72,000 of these subtle channels of energy in the body, prana. That's the word. But when they say nadi, that's what they're referring to. Nadi. Literal meaning of nadi is just nerve. You can call them the physical nerves or whatever, but in this context that we are talking about, it's the subtle carriers of energy. All right, let's close the eyes. Comfortable posture. With the shoulders relaxed, hands comfortable, spine upright. Let's recite Om once now, deep inhalation. Join the palms together. Shanti mantra. Inhale. Om Asti Satkamaya. Lead me from unreal to the real, darkness to light, from the fear of death to the knowledge of immortality. Peace, peace, peace. Cover the eyes softly. Join the palms again. Raise them up. As you exhale, bend forward. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. I bow down to all my gurus, my teachers. A special tribute to our teacher Patanjali. Patanjali, who has given us this beautiful practice of yoga. And slowly come back. Thank you all. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of the day.